In our breaking news, at least 56 people have been killed in an airstrike in the northern Ethiopian region of Tigray. That's according to the Reuters news agency. Another 30 people were wounded in the attack that appeared to target an internally displaced camp in Dedebit near the border with Eritrea. The government has previously denied targeting civilians in the more than 1 year-long conflict with Tigrayan forces. TPLF fighters withdrew to their stronghold in Tigray last month in the face of a military offensive. Well, let's discuss this with Mukesh Kapila. He joins me from Geneva. He's an Emeritus Professor of Global Health and Humanitarian Affairs at the University of Manchester. Good to have you on this program. Thanks for your time. Now, it had seemed as though there was somewhat of a lull in fighting, with the government announcing just today the freeing of detained opposition leaders. However, with this attack, it does look like it's going to be a major setback to resolving this ongoing situation in Ethiopia.
Oh, absolutely. And the timing is very unfortunate. This is the time of the Ethiopian Christmas. It is soon after the visit of the U.S. Special Envoy and just shortly after the announcement of the release of a few political prisoners. So, and the fact that dozens have been killed and wounded points towards this being a targeted attack. Normally, in an accidental attack, much fewer numbers would be killed. But this is a well-recognized camp that is on the map. And the fact that dozens have been so killed and wounded points that this was probably a deliberate act. And this really draws into question what the motives are of the government in Addis Ababa in terms of its approach to this civil war.
Yeah, and with the freeing of those detained leaders, many were actually thinking that the motives of the Ethiopian government was to try to find more of a diplomatic solution. But is a diplomatic solution still possible at this stage? Is this latest attack not just going to enrage the TPLF and them wanting to take military action again against the Ethiopian government?
I think a diplomatic solution is not possible when, for example, millions of people in the affected region of Tigray are actually starving to death, and the hospitals are full of sick and wounded people who don't have access to any medical care. A diplomatic solution is also not possible when all whom you release are a few prominent opposition leaders who are not actually involved in any decision-making at the present time in relation to the armed conflict that is going on around Tigray. And meanwhile, there are tens of thousands of Tigrayans detained in ghost houses all over the country. So I think I'm afraid to say that this approach by Prime Minister Abiy is supposed to hoodwink both a domestic audience as well as an African and a global audience in terms of his intentions. I don't think this is going to go anywhere at all without much stronger measures being taken. Principled one being release the thousands in detention around Ethiopia and to allow unfettered humanitarian access. That and only that would be a signal that the interest in a diplomatic solution, in a political solution to this desperate conflict, is credible.